Hello, friends. Welcome to Talking with Famous People, the most exciting television program anywhere on the internet. And today, Rachel and I, serving in the capacity of hosts of said YouTube channel, do hereby decree that yes, that's bread. In other words, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's bread, and there's not a goddamn thing anybody can do about it. I think I'm going to get rid of these media sources. They seem to be a bit of resource hogs. And I also don't think it looks particularly good in the background, so I just get rid of those media sources. Remove them. They just have black. Always bet on black. Wesley Snipes is the one who taught us that.
Oh, yeah?
I believe so, right? And it was a famous line from one of his only movies that was successful, which was, he said in it, always bet on black. That was the thing that made the commercial. No, it's regular bread. It's just regular old bread. It's bread-free bread.
Bread could be nice.
Well, most importantly, people can be confused about a loaf. What is that a loaf of, they might say. The answer is usually bread.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's meat.
Sometimes it's your cat.
Sometimes it's your cat. That's true. Could be a loaf of kitty. We frequently get a loaf of kitty around here. Let me grab my cigarette. So there's not any particularly powerful reason to be live streaming right now. In other words, I don't have a whole lot to say. I mean, I thought it was pretty important that I comment on the bread thing, naturally. But beyond that, I'm not super enamored of words at the moment. But it just seemed like a good idea to live stream. So here we are. It's Saturday. I guess you could say I'm being kind of avoidant of tasks that I could be doing. Rachel got up on the earlier side today.
Yeah. I felt bad.
Why?
Because I felt like I was stupid Effie. Because I felt like I was, like, disturbing your slumber.
No, why would you think that?
I don't know.
You didn't disturb my slumber at all. You mean inside the house?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, good.
We got a little bit of tan. We might have gotten a little bit of a tan.
May have.
We didn't really go someplace very sunny.
I think, honestly, from driving around.
Yeah. Maybe just from driving around.
Yeah, Thank you, Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown. Like, that Bobby Brown?
It is. It's that Bobby Brown. He's the one who is Bobby Brown? Is he the one who sings "Look What I Can Do With My Feet"? No, it's somebody else. Octavia Silva says, Rachel, how have you been? How are you doing? It's been a while since you've been on camera.
How am I doing? Better each day. Yeah. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Was Bobby Brown a wife beater?
I believe so.
I'm not familiar with what's going on with that Legends Fall, but good for them. I'm sure I stand with them. Uh, he did the song My Prerogative. Well, apparently, if he beat his wife, he really did think it was his prerogative. The thing is, I don't know how it is elsewhere, but here in LA, people are pretty. It depends on the place you go into. If you go into like a big chain supermarket or something, then everybody will be wearing the mask. But a lot of people have it pulled down off their nose, you know. It's sort of a show thing. And nobody's really too fussy about it. I haven't heard anybody say, like, put your mask on in a while, you know. Oh, he was married to Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Oh, they were just doing crack together, huh? Let's do crack together. Oh,
Hey, Eliana Diaz.
So, you know, it's important that the discussion be had, obviously, in the terms that I've been saying from the beginning, in terms of, like, what qualifies or justifies what level of interference into people's lives, rather than either black and white, like, doesn't matter what happens, the government should interfere, or no matter how minor a threat is, the government should lock us all away, keep us safe. We need to discuss it in terms of good job, Canadian truckers. Good job.
That's so great.
Although I mean,
Yeah, good job.
From my perspective, where did we go? We just went to San Dimas the other day, and then a couple days ago, and then the day after that, we were gonna go look for a chair, but then we ended up getting whippets instead. So, today I've got a couple things on the calendar later today, but what I was thinking earlier, and what we probably should have done, but we didn't do, is go out, look at estate sales, and see if we could find one that had a chair for sale, you know. It's Saturday. But anyway, I got a 2 p.m. and I got a 6 p.m. typing. So, oh Canada, our hockey team did win last night against your Canadian countrymen.
Oh, that's
USA.
Nice.
USA.
We won?
USA. Your Canada got beat by the United States last night in hockey, Olympic hockey.
No way.
We won 4-2, yeah.
Wow, 4-2?
Yeah. And then, like the classy people we are, we all started chanting USA.
That is so classy.
Because everybody in the world loves it when Americans chant USA. It's their favorite thing. It's the world's favorite thing. Turn up the output gain on this a little bit. There we go. That should be a little juicier in your juice box, okay? You got a little bit more Capri Sun in your juice box, you might say. Why is it still saying that? It is. It is receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Why do you lie? Why do you lie to me,
Yeah, like,
YouTube?
why is that?
Why is it? Why am I getting that error message?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just wants to be a little bee. Nathan Chen was gold medal winner. Cholo Kim Yeah, that was fun to watch her run. She killed it. That first snowboard run of hers, she fucking killed it. She looked like such a better snowboarder than all the other chicks in the event by a substantial margin. Like, wow, that chick's nuts. She just fucking blew the roof off the competition.
That was the half pipe, right?
Yeah. that was impressive.
Oh my gosh, this was so emotional.
Yeah, she absolutely killed it. It was amazing because you've seen all the other snowboard ladies go before her, right? Because she was in the top position, so she got to go last. And you go like, okay, you get this certain bar set here for what like the best snowboard ladies do, and then she comes in and she's just like, bam. She's like levels up. She's so much better than the other ones. It's crazy.
Yeah, they were saying 5 was the average, like, like doing, I guess, 5 tricks.
Mm-hmm.
And she hit all 5.
Well, she hit them all big too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, not even like going out of the lines, like just making it. Like she was just like.
Yeah, she went huge the whole way and nailed them all.
And she said that she was nervous beforehand.
Yeah, well, I guess she had some bad practice runs before that, but...
Yeah, and she said that after.
And we watched a little bit of cross-country skiing last night.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of dull. But you know what we realized is you get footage of cross-country skiers is perfect to make a music video to. You just find a cross-country skier going at the BPMs that your song is going at and loop it. Or try to get multiple skiers going at the same pace. It looks like they're dancing to your song, kind of,
Yeah.
Shaun White got 4th place. So, well, I mean, he's had a very long and successful career, and he'll have a big successful career in broadcasting and stuff. So, I'm not too worried about the prospects for Shaun White.
This is his last.
That was his swan song.
Yeah. That's interesting because he looked good in the trials, but
4th is pretty good. We saw some gnarly crashes in the women's skiing. We saw that on the phone, but looks like that course had that one spot in it where they had 4 ladies crash on the same spot on this course. So it's like, okay, there must be something wrong with that spot on the course that you gotta figure. But they've got these like catch ya net style fences all along the side of the course. So 3 of the ladies were fine, but one of the ladies punctured through the fence she went like ski tip first, poked a hole straight through it, went through it, So she was a little bit more hurt, I think. But those catch ya net style fences, it's a good idea. How do you feel about these Jurassic World plus Winter Olympics mashup commercials? I haven't seen them. I always mute the commercials, tend to turn away from the thing during a commercial. I don't like commercials. Neither one. Toast is transformed bread. Toast is transformed bread. It's been transformed by the toasting process from bread into toast. You put a piece of bread in a toaster, a piece of toast comes out. You might ask, where did the bread go? Well, it's contained within the toast. Yeah. Anyway, if you were wondering, you want confirmation of the answer to the question posed by the thumbnail to this stream, namely, is this bread is yes, it is bread.
It is. I think bread is delicious, personally. I do like it toasted, though, so I guess I might like toast more than bread, but there's something sometimes, like when we were waiting at the Cheesecake Factory and they brought the bread out and we had some bread and butter, and it was just so satisfying.
Yeah. Bread. Well, you know, it's a lot better way to consume wheat than just having the raw wheat. If you ever tried to have a bowl of raw wheat kernels, you'll know that's not a good way to consume wheat. It's almost surprising that people ever started to farm wheat. Doesn't seem like it's a food, really. You gotta do a lot of stuff to it to make it into a food. You gotta grind it at the mill. You gotta put it into some mush. You gotta put some yeast in it, let it sit there for a while. A lot of stuff you gotta do to turn wheat into bread. But anyway, you know what they say bread is? Bread is the mother of Western civilization. And rice is the mother of Eastern civilization. One reason I'm glad to live here in the West is if you've ever tried to make a sandwich by putting meat between two slices of rice, you discovered that the rice is not large enough to do that. You can barely even slice one rice in two, let alone expect it to hold very much meat and cheese between it. It's one of the downsides of rice.
That is one of the downsides of rice.
Celiac disease.
How is that for you? Can you eat it at all? Or every time you eat it, there's a reaction?
I can't eat bread. I don't know why. I went to the doctor and then I learned I have something special to please me. Celiac disease. Yeah, that's G sweet. You just have to eat like 20,000 rice sandwiches. Well, okay, fine. Fine, fair enough.
You can do that.
What I like are deviled rice.
Deviled rice.
You take a grain of rice and you very carefully peel it and mush up the middle and put it back in the peel.
Ew.
Very labor-intensive process.
That is so labor-intensive.
Who came first, beer or wine? Probably beer, I would guess. Well, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, as soon as you got grain, beer is easy. Vineyards seem like a higher level of civilization because you're growing something that's a little less food-like and a little more like treat-like in some way. Less of a staple. You can't survive on grapes, but you can survive on bread, sort of.
Yeah.
You can't have wheat at all, huh? I would recommend you don't purchase Wheaties brand cereal and eat that for breakfast. You can't have dairy or soy, almond cheese.
Hmm.
That doesn't sound like cheese to me.
Yeah.
You can't make cheese out of almonds. Just like you can't make basketball centers out of small men.
Hi, Winston's mom. Thank you for the gift for Valentine's Day. We got it in the mail yesterday.
Yes, cheers. I'm going to transubstantiate a bong rip for you. And thanks, Winston's mom. You're going to get to have a little bit of the old wintergreen supreme, bro. You know what? I'm going to dab you up while I'm at it. I'm going to put a little bit of concentrate on it. So this will be a very special bowl for you, Winston's mom. make sure you're sitting down and not driving right now, because you're going to get high AF.
Thank you.
Like somebody in the movie Scarface. I tell you who got high AF were the people in the movie Scarface. Well, now you get to be like one of them, Winston's mom. You need more weed in there to put this on top of. God damn it, Eric. You should just call my life Eric's Stupidity Parade.
I'd watch.
That's good. As long as people are watching, it's fine.
It's so stupid.
Oh, my sweet darling. You're so sweet to me.
I love you.
Always standing up for me even when I'm just making self-deprecating jokes. And there. Do you need some on yours now? Have you gotten any? I get you some too. Hey. There. Okay. So, now that we're done with the preparations, we can transubstantiate here to Winston's mom a most ardent and heartfelt gracias. I hereby transubstantiate thee. Obviously, Winston's mom, you got all of the impacts from that in terms of a head sense, but I suspect that was a bit of a bell ringer. Good old Mesopotamia. The Fertile Crescent.
Did they have bread there?
Yeah. It was their specialty. Mesopotamian bread. Mesopotamia bread, they called it. Yeah, I think, apparently, according to Zach, I don't really know. I don't know much about my Mesopotamian history. I suspect human civilizations go back significantly further than we think. I suspect that archaeology will continue pushing the date back. So, it just makes sense that at a certain point, it's going to be hard to sustain evidence of your existence on a planet that is literally covered in every sort of thing that can exploit every sort of resource there is. There's not much you can leave up that's not going to get plundered by something, right? Be it termites because it's a wood structure, or sort of crumble by erosion if it's a stone structure. If it has value to other human beings, get plundered and taken away. The only things that persist for a long period of time are massive stone structures, basically. Or metal stuff, but it doesn't seem like ancient people built structures with metal.
No, it's true.
So that seems to be unique to the modern world. like building a big whole building out of metal. I mean, steel girders and shit. Steel girders, it's like they either gonna get melted down and made into something else, like another steel girder or something, or they're around forever. You know, it's like those aren't gonna. If you've got a junkyard someplace filled with old bent steel girders from a building that was knocked down, it's not like those are gonna biodegrade, or something. It's gonna take. They'll be there for millions of years, I guess. Right?
Wow.
We make things now when we want it to be, when we want it to last or be structurally sound or something. We make them very sturdily. But people's relationship with space objects is changing. People used to put a lot of value into specific space objects that just, I think people are rejecting stuff in general more. It just seems to drag them down. You know, it feels that way to me. Like, almost everything that's important is either in the real world is experiential, people, the cat, you know, stuff like that, or is digital. Everything that's important to me, right? So it's like it's either on the screen or it's not an object out here. There are a couple of exceptions. Like I need the shit here to operate. Tools that I need to do my online stuff are a different matter. But the only thing that really is a huge exception is the guitar. The guitar is an object that it's a physical object in the world that isn't a tool that I need for digital stuff. It's the other way around, you know. It's like I need digital stuff for the guitar, so I can make guitar available to what I'm doing with the guitar available to other people. But it exists independent of the media. So, anyhow, how are you guys doing this Saturday? Anybody have any thoughts on whether or not that was bread? Anybody dispute our conclusion that yes, it was bread? I don't think so. Are we gonna watch the Jennifer Lopez Owen Wilson rom-com? I'm not planning on watching it. How about you?
So that's a no.
I haven't heard of. Well, I think I might have heard of it. I think I saw a commercial for Owen Wilson movie coming up soon that I may have seen during the Olympics. I'm not sure.
I didn't know that they were coming out with one.
In general, I'm not a huge rom-com fan, although I do like some of them. They've got to be well done, right? It's like, if it's really well done and it's not, I mean, you got to walk a lot of lines super carefully, I think, to pull one of those off. You got to be emotionally resonant without being cheesy. You've got to be funny without being precious. You've got to be, you got to have a plot without feeling like a formulaic or whatever. It's a tricky piece of business to put together. A good romantic comedy.
Yeah, it is.
Rachel and my story of meeting each other. I mean, it's like our story in general, like for the first, I don't know, couple of years, if you were to compact it into a few chunks of months to make scenes out of or something, put together a story about it. It'd be kind of like a dramedy, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
It would try to make you feel you laugh, you cry. Oh,
Yes.
one of those things.
You know what's funny? I was playing with my Lenormand cards, and it basically suggested that I write about us.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
You should put together just like even to get started, like a list of scenes that you'd envision being included in the story, you know?
Cool. Maybe could I ask for your suggestions too? Your help?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Yeah, we could work together on that. That would be an interesting project. I think if we could sort of tag, as they say in debate, each of the scenes and just cobble it together into kind of like a linear story that, I guess more properly to say that to cobble it together in a way that's non-linear but makes sense. Would probably be the best idea. But regardless, then it becomes all of a sudden pretty easy to write if you have it like a list of sections. Then you define a scene as time period stretching from meow to meow, in which meow happens, and yeah.
I mean, okay, so like even the drama is pretty funny. Like, I mean, when I went like nuts, like it was like ridiculous. So I mean, because that would be in there, right?
Yeah. it would be interesting. I mean, it's like to play that as humor would be tricky line to walk, because it's the actress playing you would have to. I don't know. It'd be tricky to do, right?
Yeah.
It's
I think the lines, like,
yeah. It's like the actual event isn't funny, but
Yeah.
then later on, when it's like you imagine an exchange between me and some other character when you're not there, and they're saying, "Well, why do you think she's crazy?" And I say, "Well, she squirted water inside my dad's car in the garage in the middle of the night." And the other person goes, "Well, what was her reasoning? I mean, I'm sure she had some reason to do it." "Oh, yeah, because her family was having sex in there." I mean, in that instance, it's... And then the other person goes, "Okay, that's crazy." Like that sort of thing could be kind of funny. And it would be sort of a way of making stark the distinction between people acting weird and actual crazy, right?
Yeah.
And also drive home the distinction between Rachel and Rachel who's medicated properly versus Rachel who's not. So, it's like you probably start the movie with some sort of frame of reference, like that you're starting in the present with some scene from the relative present, And that it shows us like now, right? And then go back, like, well, it wasn't always like this, or something like that. I think it'd probably be a good way to do it, because then if you kept coming back to the present and establishing sort of a current storyline too, that was concurrently being resolved as the past storylines being developed, you know?
Yeah.
That might work. I don't know.
Working, starting in the present would be good.
The clinical word for insane in German is Geistesgestört or Geisteskrank. Geistesgestört. Geisteskrank.
Geisteskrank.
Bescheuert. Bekloppt. Hinverbrannt. 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 Übergeschnappt. They get a lot of words for crazy.
Yeah.
Übergeschnappt. I guess we do too, but Germans have some awesome looking words, like Geistesgestört. Ja, das ist ein Geistesgestört. Geistesgestört, geisteskrank und bescheuert, bekloppt, hinverbrannt, übergeschnappt.
That was great.
Thanks, darling. Das ist uns übergeschnappt. Ja, what are we going to do? Makes me want to learn German. It seems so easy to learn to me for some reason. Like, I just have a feeling I'd be able to pick it up in a second. I don't know why. It fits in my mouth naturally or something. E-B. E. How do you say that U with the two dots over it? Übel. Übel geschnappt. Übel geschnappt.
Snapped.
So anyway, it's a kind of a lazy Saturday late morning.
A good day for making bread, actually.
That's a good point.
You can take... So what I know about bread making is that you have to knead it. And that also there's some rising process.
First you take some sunshine, a little bit of food. You mix it all together, and then what do? You have some sunny poo. You have some sunny poo. Adding chen to the end of any word, it will automatically become the German diminutive, meaning a tiny version of itself, and always carry the article das. Das Beklopptchen. The little bekloppt. Das Beklopptchen.
Das
So if I were to say
bekloppt.
she became das Beklopptchen, the little crazy one. Rachel Chen and host Eric Chen are now tiny diminutives of themselves, only if we're preceded by DOS's. Das Rachel Chen and Das host Eric Chen.
Ooh.
The little Rachel and the little host Eric. You have to precede it with Das, don't you know? What's wrong with you? Don't you speak German? No, because beklopped is an adjective. You gotta add it to a noun. Oh! Hey, look at that beklopped rain over there. Like that?
Like das Boot.
Das Rain ist und bekloppt Rain.
Oh.
This rain is a crazy
Crazy rain.
This rain is a crazy rain sounds like good song lyrics for like an 80s metal song, you know?
Yes, it does.
This rain is a crazy rain that's flooding down to hell. This rain is a crazy rain. Yeah. Ride the wave, yeah, might as well. Like that. Okay, well, Rain, I appreciate the correction. I don't want to mischin something.
Oh, the chin.
You know, it's funny that Japanese shares with German that quality, except instead of chin, it's chun and kun. You know.
And sama.
Well, sama means important, super important
Ah.
person. Geisteskrank is like ghost sick. Geisteskrank. Yeah. How do you say she in German? How do you say he, she?
Oh, I was totally ghost sick.
You were ghost sick, huh?
Yeah.
It's a good way to put it. I like you being ghost sick.
Geisteskrank. Krank. Geisteskrank.
I pronounce it that way on purpose,
Hello.
Bobby Brown. I know how Chloe is pronounced,
Yeah.
okay? I do that as a joke. Yes, I know. I know. I understand how Chloe is pronounced.
Oh, Bobby Brown.
You so silly, you so cray and silly, you hillbilly, you crazy little hillbilly. Ghost sick, yeah, that's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
It makes you think that she has either a sickness that she was passed on to her by a ghost, that she's sick because of the presence of a ghost, or that she's sick because she misses her ghost, as in like homesick, right? Could be any of those interpretations. Oh, she's just ghost sick. What do you mean? She misses her ghost. Yeah, she hasn't seen him in 3 weeks, so.
Aww. That could be a movie too.
You could have a friendly ghost, and I could be your new husband and be like, now, one thing though, Rachel, we gotta get rid of this ghost. And so you go, okay, and we send it away, and then I see you crying so much, and I say, okay, you know what, fine, let's go get this ghost back, and then we have an adventure and go get the ghost back.
Wow. That sounds fun.
And the movie's called Ghost Sick, and it stars non-threatening bland actor Mia, plus comedic kooky lady playing mother Mia, and these Disney style stars as the kids, and yeah, and there you go. Bada bing, bada boom, bada boo. There you got your movie Ghost Sick. It's your next big Disney hit. And when they finally find the ghost again, he sees her and he said, well, what happened to you? Well, you've changed. What's wrong with you? I see the sorrow in your heart and your soul. She says, it's ghost sickness. And then the audience realizes, oh, like that, she's ghost sick. And that's the big bada bing, bada boom. And then they go like, that's a lot of setup for the punchline. So, Rachel and I have been watching Saturday Night Live skits. I was impressed with the amount of setup they put into that one with the raccoons, Rachel.
It's true. That one though, like, we had to wait for the punchline. It was totally worth it.
They pulled it off because they kept. I will switch it if I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. They managed to keep me entertained and laughing a little bit all the way to get to the punchline. So if you haven't seen it, I don't want to give it away, but it's like Kristen Wiig is in it as one of the ladies, right?
This is for which one?
The raccoon one.
Oh, the raccoon one? Yeah, she is in it.
So if you were to YouTube search Kristen Wiig eats some trash, that's the video. If you want to watch it, I'll delay talking about it a second because I don't want to be a spoiler for it. But anyway, I'll come back to it in a second. Watching those SNL skits makes me think about how they're written or whatnot. Like sometimes the skit is clearly written because of a certain celebrity who's on the show that week, right? The host of the show, probably. Sometimes, and in those instances, the skits usually aren't very good. They usually make some joke that takes advantage of something specific about the person who's hosting, and it's not really particularly great. It's like written to the person rather than the person integrated into the thing. And then there are certain like skit foundations that just hold up like a coat rack procession of jokes, like the return counter, where a succession people come up with ridiculous return exchanges with the guy behind the counter, and the jokes aren't really connected to each other. They just have that as like a framework on which to put jokes. Then there are ones that are built clearly around one of the cast members coming up with a funny character, like Kristen Wiig's lady who twirls her hair.
Yes.
Okay. I did that too.
She
I
goes
did
to
it
the
first. I actually I did it first.
Oh yeah, actually.
That lady. So
She goes to the AA meetings, right?
yeah, well, there are a whole bunch of sketches with her.
Yeah.
With that character. And then there are like, okay, well, then there's like 8 of them or something ridiculous like that. But like the skits for which are called Secret Word. So Secret Word, that's basically built around the concept of Kristen Wiig's character. There's like a Broadway actress who always says the secret word. Well, right now we're talking about Saturday Night Live skits at the moment and how they're written and the different strategies the writers have. So that one's kind of like a combination of a character and a concept, and it works really well because she's because of the way that it has to be delivered right. But because Kristen Wiig's character is funny and she's really great at delivering the comedic actress shit there, it works beautifully. But it's still just basically a single concept skit that gets repeated, right?
Mm-hmm. Then there's the characters that are on. Okay, so that would be like under probably the umbrella of characters, but the characters that are on during Weekend Update.
Right. Well, that is a different category. I'd say, like Stefan, for example. Stefan's pretty funny. I can watch him. The lady who you don't want to talk. You wish you hadn't started a conversation with at a party. She's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're their own category thing. That's true. And then I think that. Oh, and then you've got your impressions. People who do impressions of certain famous people, either past or present. For example, Liza Minnelli tries to turn on a lamp. or Alan Alda. Bill Hadley doing Alan Alda. He has a really good Alan Alda impression.
He does. Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't.
What
I
other
was
kind of
see
skits are there? Well, so another kind of combo skit idea, which is the career day with the oil baron.
This is fucking funny.
That's a really funny one. The guy who I don't remember the oil baron's name, but I remember the guy who he crushes. His name, H.R. Pickens. Yeah. That one is really funny, and that one is carried by the acting of the guy who does the main character in it.
Yeah.
Another one like that doesn't work quite as well, but is kind of a good kind of a medium concept with it doesn't really end up working out that beautifully, but one character of it is quite funny. Is the old prospector character played by Will Ferrell. This morning, Rachel and I watched one of those cartoons where they had the old Hollywood stars.
Yes.
So it was it's on YouTube somewhere. Well, here are some of the people that I recognized in it. I recognized Bing Crosby. I recognized Humphrey Bogart. I think that guy with the big ears who was walking around was Clark Gable.
Yes.
I recognized one of the Marx Brothers with the yellow hair. Who else do you remember from it? Anybody?
Cary Grant.
Who's Cary Grant?
He was like the first guy at the table.
Okay.
Jim Stewart.
Oh, right, yeah, he was there. He ran away from that lady. Who was that lady?
The ladies I know less.
Anyway, I was talking with my dad and Rachel the other night about how those cartoons as I was a kid at first kind of confused me. Like, what is this? And then at some point I realized, okay, this is like famous people in the olden days, you know. I don't remember how old I was when I figured that out. It probably didn't take me too long to figure out, but you know, when it first came on, you go, oh, it's one of those people ones, you know, that had people in it for some reason, and that in which I don't get any of the jokes, and it's not fun or interesting. But you watch it anyway because it's like when I was a kid, you know, when I was the age when I was watching that, there was some maybe 4 or 5 channels you could possibly watch. There was nothing else. There was no cable TV or anything. So
I watched it on TNT at my grandma's house. They had reruns.
Well, yeah, I watched it on Saturday morning when they'd replay those old cartoons, and you know, they didn't censor them back then at all either. They just played the old cartoons on TV, and we just watched them, and that included like the offensive, the racially offensive ones, and the stuff that they wouldn't show today to kids at all. Like there's this joke that they used to have in these old cartoons where the fish would see something crazy that was going on in the cartoon in the ocean, And he'd say, well, now I've seen everything. And he'd shoot himself in the head. And then they don't show that part anymore. I remember the kid thinking, why does having seen everything mean he kills himself? Like, just kind of tripping out on it, I guess. Like, what was it I was saying to my dad about interpreting something as a kid that was he said, well, it's funny, Eric. That's why it's funny. And it's like, okay. What was it I was talking about? It wasn't it was the other thing we were talking about besides the people. Do you remember? Yeah, probably find out.
No, but
Anyway.
it was like part of the physical, like, jokes of it.
Oh, right. I remember what it was. I remember thinking as a kid, why doesn't he try to hunt other rabbits besides Bugs Bunny?
Oh.
Since Bugs Bunny is continually giving him so much trouble, surely there are other rabbits he could be hunting. I've been studying the concept of diaphanous intuition, an aha moment as explained in a bathtub. As explained in a bathtub? Or as experienced in a bathtub? I haven't really experienced any aha moments per se. I can think of off the top of my head. Except for like, aha, these pants are red.
Sometimes you have cognitive function.
Well, I don't know if I would call I wouldn't think of them as aha moments. I just think of them as another moment in the progression of Miaz, but one that's more resolutional, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I look at myself and say, this is not a good outfit. These things don't go together. Is that an aha moment?
It's a really good question.
In this country, we have no place for hyphenated Americans. Theodore Roosevelt said that, huh? I get the spirit of what he was saying. Like, apparently, my dad was talking about this lady who's competing for the Chinese, and she's American. She's quite good, and she could have made the American team, but she chose to compete for the Chinese instead, even though she's a native-born American citizen. What the fuck's up with that?
Yeah, why?
Yeah, well, Rain, that was an aha moment. That's true, but it was suggested by someone else. So, in that case, NI was, for me, receiving, right? But, which is how it's naturally supposed to be. But I guess I'm only good at it with receiving words. But anyway, obviously I have moments of more clarity and insight than others, but I think it's just usually, it's kind of like, we talk about a game-winning point in a basketball game or something, but really that's not the game-winning point any more than any other point in the game is, right? They're all count the same. The aha of intuition, my favorite part of Alan Watts. Aha of intuition. Ooh, I know, aha. I guess I do have moments of, ooh, I know. I do have those moments, but I can't exactly recall any of them at the moment. But certainly I do. I guess that's unconscious fifth. I just need to think a little bit harder. I'll recall some. I mean, sure, I can recall some moments where I was like, duh, Eric, duh, you're doing this dumb. Thoughts on Voltology? Yes, I have some thoughts on that indeed. Okay, so it is true that there are various things, physical indications that link to type more or less strongly. But it's not a good way to type people because that linkage doesn't have a third spot against which you can cross-check it. So it's not meaningful as an explanation. Everybody can have their own variable, particularist interpretation of what looks like what is what, and everyone's justification is equally good, which is to say, well, that's the pattern we see, or something like that. So that's what makes it fundamentally bullshit as a way to type people, is you can use it as a typologist yourself you could note it, but it's not 100% reliable at all, and it's not something you can use to justify your typing of somebody. So as a consequence, you're doing everybody a disservice to try to treat it as though it were something other than it is, because it can't be cross-checked against anything. There's no reason for us to really conclude that meow physicality links determinately to meow thing. It just seems to go that way. It is the case that beta quadra people generally have beta quadra eyes, but it is not necessarily the case that somebody who has something that would qualify as beta quadra eyes is beta quadra. It is very unlikely that somebody in beta quadra is not going to have beta quadra eyes, but it's very, although there are occasions, but it's much more likely that somebody who has beta quadra eyes will not be in beta quadra. So it's like you get those from SFPs too sometimes. You get the big, like, moon puddle eyes, Epistemology, intuition and epistemology. I know because I intuit that it's so, and so I intuit what I know. Intuition is indeed a form of epistemology, but I don't think epistemologically it is explained as such by anybody but those around here as cognitive function bunch. What the heck is a moon puddle? A moon puddle. Oh, what the heck is a moon puddle? Well, Rain, it's a puddle on the moon, obviously. Or it's a puddle comprising nothing but moons. Or it's a puddle shaped like a moon. Or it's whatever your imagination wants it to be. How about that?
That's nice.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yes, that's wonderful.
Because around here, we live in a world of beautiful and tender imagination.
Beautiful and tender imagination.
Imagine with me, Rain. Let's imagine together. Let's imagine a beautiful world with flowers and trees and moon puddles everywhere. Go ahead.
Winston's mom says, a moon puddle is what happens when you leave your moon pie outside on the sidewalk in the hot summer sun.
It's just a poetic description of like I've got look if you look at the difference between Rachel's eyes and my eyes. Moon puddle eyes suggest a puddle which is perhaps think about a puddle that's got like the full moon reflected in it, right? It suggests a lot of white in the eye, I guess. But, and also suggests kind of a mooniness. I don't know, it's poetic, brain. What do you want me to explain how poetic terms are supposed to make you feel about something? How am I supposed to explain that to you? I remember you said that TI users will stop mid-sentence to find a better description, but TE users don't. Well, TINE users tend to backtrack and restate things a lot, whereas TISE users are a little bit less likely to do that, because TISE users are ultimately expressing what they're saying as expressions of conscious NI and unconscious NE. So, miggity man, miggity me. But regardless, it is the case that NI users are less likely to, I think, go on tangents, repeat themselves, backtrack to restate, offer things like, in other words. I can barely say anything without following it immediately with, in other words, and then restating it in other words. Because I like to explain things so that they are understood. And it's a great quality to have for a teacher, right?
Yeah.
For a teacher to stand up in front of the class and say, here's a bunch of different ways for me to say the same thing. Eric, I really feel estranged from conversation when people start referencing imagination because I can't relate to because I don't have one. What do you mean you don't have an imagination? I don't understand what that means. Does it mean you can't picture yourself in a world where everybody has a hat on? It's called the 1940s. And before.
So I'd have a hat too?
If it were the 1940s. Would you like a hat?
Yes, I like to feel like I'm in the 1940s.
This isn't a very 1940s hat, but it does conform to the 1940s standard of wearing a hat. What do you think?
I think it's totally it.
So, I want to see what the follow-up on this is. I'm really struggling with my type now. Lol, would it be possible to get an autonomy check-in if you're able? I mean, you want... Yeah, you want to do it... You want to do it on stream or you want to do it off stream? Puddle Moon is a magical midnight adventure. A little girl and her dog Mumbles slip out of the house on a rainy summer's night and venture into the wondrous world of the Puddle Moon. Making a grand splash, Megan and Mumbles, Inches, the mouse, and Fumbles the cat tumble and float with the moon and the clouds, the rainbow bird, and the twinkling star by David Scott. Aww, Puddle Moon.
Puddle Moon.
You know, I think Rachel and I might write the script for the adult film takeoff on that called Cuddle Poon.
Cuddle Poon.
Yeah. It's the story of the wondrous world of Cuddle Poon, a 19-year-old co-ed at the local community college who's off on a nighttime adventure. In which she meets, making a grand splash, she meets Inches, the first penis, Mini Inches, the second penis, Feet, the third penis, and Yards.
Wow.
Later, we see her in the hospital. Reminds me of a tribute book I read in elementary school. It turned out to be a prequel to the Narnia series. Huh.
I didn't know that there was a prequel to the Narnia series.
Yeah. It's called Pranarnia.
For Narnia.
Cuddle Poon and her cat Tang. Anywho, enough about that. I want to know more about the lack of imagination. Either fine, I can do tomorrow, which is probably late for you today. For you, well, I can't really do it. Well, I could do it right now, I guess. Either's fine. If you want to come on right now and talk to me, that's fine. I could go to autonomy, and you could join us here in the live stream. With a wonderful, wonderful adventure of learning, you'll experience fabulous times, wonder times. Alright, let's see. What am I looking for? Oy, 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 this looking for things. What's going on with that, huh? Who asked for the box full of looking for shit? Not me. Alright, Captain Pooh.
Oh, party at my parents' house.
Yeah. I was singing that earlier, too. Party at my parents' house. Alright, lady, man, whatever you are.
Okay.
Franklin J. Banana Pants the third. Are you ready for some football? It's a Monday night party. No. That's not what I wanted. Don't be a silly goose. That's what I had to tell this app. I had to give it the what for. And say to it, you, don't be a silly goose. Alright. Come along, Captain America. You've been awake for almost 4 days straight now? Why? Have you been rolling around in speed? It seems like too long to stay awake for.
Yeah.
Perhaps what you need is a little shut-eye. Because of the strong correlation between wakefulness and open eyes. That's why they call it shut-eye. Oh, death by monkeys. You've been taking too much of it, Mr. Man. You need to go to bed. Otherwise you're gonna go crazy instead. Oh yeah? Go to bed. Or crazy instead. That's the old saying Mom used to say. First she said, yes, that's bread. Then she said, what? Where is this person? Hurry up, person. Okay, N. Okay, M, more like it. okay, Q or R, O, P, T. Where are you? There we go. You need a stern scolding. Do you really wanna hate me? Oh, here comes my dad. Yeah, come in. Hi, Dad. You need something?
It'll be a minute.
No, we can't. Okay, Ann. Yeah, that's right.
At 4:48 p.m. from phone number 626292780. Duration 31 seconds. Kevin, 300 separation. I just wanted to report that your mom is there on her phone. And there's dry attack and
Okay, so it says Mom had a skin tear.
What am I supposed to send?
Nothing. No, they don't say to send anything. It's just reporting that Mom has a skin tear on her bottom that they put ointment on it.
Yeah, I got that part. I thought they said, please send the nurse or do something.
No, they said, if you have any questions, please call the nurse, but Kane's feeling fine.
Okay, so everything's good.
Yeah, everything's good.
Okay, what broke?
This plate. It was on this thing and I knocked it off. And it broke. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. My bad.
No, I just saw the back. It had the,
Yeah, I know. I saw that and I felt bad that I broke it. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what it says here. Looks like it's from Turkey.
yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
Need to knock it
Thank
out.
you.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Okay. Okay, and it still can't be heard, huh?
What?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. Hi.
Yeah. Is the mic working?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, I don't really need that there. Okay. So you're not on camera, right? You're just on mic?
No.
That's fine. Okay. Actually, I guess I'll do this. Let me switch the desktop audio to. So what do you type? Like, talk to me. What are your questions or whatever? Like, what's your concerns about?
Yeah, sure. You type me as
I typed you as what?
INFJ.
Uh huh.
But I'm not sure because we spoke about any SI.
What's that?
Wait, sorry, I think there's a lot of
Yeah, I'm not getting good audio from you. Really, I can't hear you very well.
Let me check one thing, sorry. So I'm just trying to check it out.
It sounds okay enough, I guess. I don't really want to put on the headphones if I can avoid it.
Good. Wait, is the stream on in the background?
No, just your voice. Your voice is being picked up on the desktop audio and a little bit on the mic. So I would like to have the TV low so it would minimize the amount of echo, but that's fine. Go ahead and tell me what your reservations are about the type.
Yeah, I just remember when we were speaking on the other stream, you mentioned the SI process of trying to figure out the last place that you left your keys, or I think your sunglasses or something like that. And I guess anyone can relate, but it's like I thought, whoa, I think I do that. I think that process, I relate more to that one than maybe an NI one.
Okay. Well,
I'm not sure. I could be wrong. The only reason I asked is because you said it's possible it could be ISFJ.
I mean, that does sound like an SI process to me. I've not really empirically established that, in fact, that specific thing, like remembering where you put something, is. I'm not sure if I really empirically established that links clearly to SI or anything, but okay. So walk me through your mental process of. Talk to me about an occasion on which you can recall a certain mental process, either looking for something or something like that.
It's pretty difficult, but the other one that I can remember is when I think I went to my university gym and I came back and I was looking for my keys, and my process wasn't to think, oh, I know that my keys are in the gym bag. It was, where do they usually go? Okay, my pockets. That's the first one. Other pockets, inside the bag, and then I remember, oh, I zipped it up because early this morning I went to the gym and I thought it would be more efficient to just put them there so I could come back and take them out of the bag. I don't know if that's like a strong enough reason, but I thought it might be an example of SI. Could be.
Well, I'd say they're probably meow because that's where they usually are. It's kind of a toss-up. It's really that's maybe would be an NI description of some sort. I mean, the thing is, NI people have to keep track of their shit to some extent too. Rachel sometimes remembers where something is that I don't remember where it is. But then when you talk about, or you remembered where you put it, that you'd put it there because this morning you had decided to put it there because of Miggity Miagity Mew. That sounds a little bit more like an SI kind of interface, I guess.
I noticed that as well. And another example could be the way in which I sort of led as well. For example, I'm thinking of when I was doing like jujitsu, where some people, I think there were SC people that will get it very easy and quickly, whereas with me, it's like there's a lot of repetition that has to be involved, a lot of thinking, breaking it down before I can actually nail it. And that, it seems to correlate with what you said about how SC Polo gets over you not being strong in SC. They do it repeatedly.
No. You misinterpreted that entirely. So SE polar people hate to practice. They can't stand it. But if they're doing something repetitively and end up practicing, in fact, they will reject the notion they need to practice because they countervalue NI. So, in fact, what that sounds like is INFJ's relationship with practice. Rachel gets better and better at something the more she has an opportunity to practice at it. And I sometimes will, like, rush a process because I really need to give her more time to practice. She's not against practicing at all. She generally seems to like to have the opportunity to do so. And so I would say it's more consistent with SE 4th than it is with certainly SE 7th. Might it be consistent with SI 1st?
With SI first.
I'm trying to think about that. I'm not. I haven't witnessed it really. I can't think of examples for ISFJs relating to practice. Actually, yeah. I mean, they're going to favor more practice, for sure. But I think it's going to be a much more sort of native relationship they have to it than SE 4th is. In other words, Rachel doesn't really uphold practice as a value in some sense, so much as she does benefit from it and not object to it. And maybe sometimes we'll say she needs it, but you know. Well, Rain, what would you like me to do? I've been asking him to give me some specific examples. What do you recommend, Rain, that I do as far as an SI test goes? Right now I'm trying to have a conversation about basically why he's having questions about being INFJ and whether or not those questions are legit, but maybe you're right. Maybe it could be a little bit more proactive here. I mean, what's your relationship with your bodily sensations in general?
Well, in general, it's difficult to say.
Can you give me examples of times where you were like, ew, yeah, with your bodily sensations?
There was a period of time where I wouldn't eat until maybe like 12 p.m., 1 p.m. And that was like absolutely necessary to eat because my body is saying, if I don't, then I'm just going to continue being uncomfortable and having this sensation. But in general, I have like a strong relationship with it. Not particularly. Maybe when I go to the gym or something, and I can feel the sensations going through of maybe like certain muscle being exerted and growing bigger. Wow.
Do you have any rai time?
Any
Rai time? Like, do you get cozy with yourself? Like, Right. Oh yeah, it's good. Like that. You
Okay.
do. You don't do that.
Sometimes, like at the end of a day, yeah. At the end of the day, I watch something on my laptop. I started incorporating that, watching things on my laptop at the end of a busy day as a form of like relaxing, so that I can be more effective the next day or something.
That is not what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Watching something on your laptop is not right time at all. I mean, what I'm talking about
Also getting cozy.
is like feeling the pleasurable feelings of, say, like the Adderall kicking in, you get kind of goosebumpy. You're like, yeah, that's gacky, or or like getting your back scratched when it's just you're like, yeah, or like getting into bed when you're tired and going, oh yeah, fuck yeah, that's good stuff. Oh my god, I'm gonna just lie here and just get all fucking cozy. It's gonna be all dark and yeah, righteous.
I mean, I definitely do that at the end of a day, most of the time, yeah. But it's not time that's specifically allocated for that. It's like, I'm just ready to end the day, to be honest. Ready to get cozy.
Okay, but when I first asked you the thing, you said you put on something on the laptop. What are you watching?
Um, it's just something on Netflix. It's a series that my friend recommended to me. I don't know if it matters, but he's like ENFP, at least I think he is. And he recommended that I watch it because it was quite interesting. And I usually get bored of them. So I just started watching that and it seems pretty good. Like, so yeah, it's pretty much just that.
So is your physical engagement with going to bed and such going on concurrently while you're watching this thing, or independently of watching this thing?
Um, I think it's just the precursor. It's how I wind down and relax to prepare for uh, the coziness.
And how does that coziness express?
I think it's just, I think it's similar to what you said. Just being in bed and sleeping, being glad to be there. But I'm not sure how that's like related. I can see how it would be related to SI, but I can imagine that most people do that.
Well, I mean, I can't tell if you do it or not.
Oh, I
But,
see.
but all right. Rain suggests we just do. Okay, what did you do yesterday morning? Give me as much detail as you can about the specifics.
Yesterday morning, I think I woke up before 8 a.m. and I was on my phone, and then I ate eggs. I made eggs, tomatoes, pancakes. Ate that. Planned out some university work. I think that was most of the morning with some. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Are you past focused or future focused?
I think I'm 100% future focused. I rarely, unless I'm using the past as motivation for the future.
Are you nostalgic?
Um, Occasionally, but not very often.
You don't sound like an SI dom to me. You don't sound like an SI user really at all to me. But being future focused, that can happen with some SI users, but not really so much in the dominant slot. I think. I'm not sure what I am. I guess I'm a mix of past and future, huh?
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure.
But I was speaking to. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
But I was speaking to my friend who's an ENFP, and I'd often ask him like, what does he think about the future? And he's always talking about how he's excited for it. Like he feels a sense of excitement at the different ways it could go. So I thought that might be a trait of like any DOMs.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm eternally optimistic. Tend to assume things are going to go in the best possible way, but at the same time, I I don't necessarily like it when things change around me when I'm not paying attention. You know, I don't necessarily like the fact that my past is gone irrevocably, like my childhood and stuff, and all the remnants of them are gradually being replaced, and
Yeah.
you know, it's like that kind of shit is produces what you might call ontological anxiety in me, but
So,
ultimately I'm more focused on what I assume will be a better future than a past that I assume has just been generally purposed
yeah.
to leading up to this moment. Okay, so yeah, I think
Sorry.
SI DOMs typically do answer that they're past focused to that question.
I do have like something which might indicate like what perceiving access it is about my relationship with the past. Like I struggle to remember it too much, but I do remember like the impressions of things and what they mean and how I can like use them for the future. I can't say that I miss certain things, but I can acknowledge them and want to build an even better one in the future.
Okay, well, I mean, people who have NI in the first slot end up attending. End up okay. It's like SI8 is least conscious and most balanced for you, which means if you're seeking single instances of it, you're going to be able to find as much as your NI needs to make its conclusions. So you got to be careful about conflating your ability to metacognate, which is to say, to stand back and note examples of how you're attending, will enable you to note examples of how you're attending that might not otherwise be noted by a less metaphysical type. But that's not the same thing as attending by those things in a conscious way. So, you know, it ends up playing out like either you trust your intuition or your experience, and you're either in the moment noticing things or you're not. Like a good example is Rachel and I go to this estate sale. There's a really pimped out wheelchair there. She notices it and sees it as an opportunity for me to suggest to my dad, hey, maybe you want to check out this wheelchair. Whereas, and then I think, well, mom already has a wheelchair. Why would? But she's understanding my dad, and she's understanding that my mom's wheelchair is pretty crappy, and she's understanding a bunch of other stuff, right? But I'm not even in capacity to notice it. So she makes this suggestion. I wait until the next day, and my dad says he's going to swap me, and I say, yeah, I'll throw this suggestion out there. He, of course, goes buys the wheelchair. It turned out to be a fantastic wheelchair and much better than what my mom had. And it's all win-win-win around. My dad got it $50, it's a really good price, etc.
Wow.
That's NI versus any SI, which said, I am not currently walking into this looking for a wheelchair.
Oh, I see.
You know. I'm not thinking about that. It doesn't link to me. If you're NI first, you're outwardly focused. being able to observe and know things in the real world and then link them back rather than the other way around. So, Rachel, do you have any thoughts here?
You sound a lot like me.
Okay.
Yeah, you do. I think that SI,
For you guys, SI is like the forbidden juice.
yeah, I'm learning. It's good to be around a person who is SI front stack. I think you learn to
And noisy
indulge.
about it.
What?
And noisy about it.
Yeah, you get to learn like I've been taking baths more and yeah, I should do it more, but I like move my feet together now before like I go to bed. It's you learn those like SI things. I don't know to help calm you down. I think it
Yeah.
helps calm the NI dom down.
Yeah, I think that's the whole reason I started like trying to get cozy before bed, watching the series or playing a game or something. It's just to relax.
Yeah, I watch things to relax as well. Like sometimes I'll watch like I watch a lot of YouTube. Um
Yeah.
and uh we have Disney Plus, so I have been watching reruns of The Simpsons, and it's not a current show, right? But
Yeah.
kind of links to, I've always thought it was funny, and it links to my past, so it's a kind of comfort food in a receiver type of way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It has vague familiarity without being totally burnt out.
yeah.
So it's interesting the way that Rachel and I relate to media a little bit differently. For things that I want to that I make, I need to watch them multiple times sometimes to get the feel for what exactly it is, to know it properly. Or for music, I need to listen to it for a longer period of time, I think, before I know it and know what it is and stuff like that. Although, you know, my aesthetics have been sharpened by years of focusing on that kind of stuff, I guess. But
So,
go ahead.
what do you mean by like when you're listening to music before you know what it is? Like,
Well, if we're hearing some new song, I feel like I'm sometimes wrong about an initial enthusiasm or an initial doubt. And I have to give the song a little bit longer time probably than I would guess Rachel does. Although she's not normally one to chime in like this song is shitty, change it. But I can always tell that like when I play something for her, I can tell by how she responds to it without saying anything what she thinks about it basically. And she's very reliable in her instincts. INFJs have good aesthetic instincts.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
that's interesting. I think I need to work on that aspect. But I think SC and I use is quite good, especially ISFP in terms of realms of aesthetics. I know that's interesting because I was really considering ISFJ or just Alpha Quadra in general?
Well, Alpha
What
and Beta
makes
Quadra both have FETI, so, and the aesthetics, good aesthetics comes from good NI and good FE. So the best aesthetically, the most aesthetically suited to be successful are ENTPs, INFJs, ENFJs, and then it's like with an ESTP, for example. I've played with an ESTP drummer. They're fantastic when they're using their NI as an action function, which is to say, I'm playing a song and they have to act to know what beat goes underneath that, and then they play along, and they're dictated by the structure of the songs to what they play. But their taste in music isn't any good. I mean, my daughter's is pretty good, but by and large, with STPs, you get a lot of like they tend to like things that I don't know. They're not very good at distinguishing between examples of shit that really pops and examples of shit that's just generic mush within the genre, you know?
His laptop died.
Oh, didn't even notice he was gone. That's fine. I gotta wrap this up in about half an hour or so anyway, because why? Because I've got a 2 o'clock appointment with your mom at Anal Wreckage Anonymous. She wants me to become her sponsor. Honestly, I'm not in the right state of mind to be articulating, and every point I make will end up being not the point I want to make. Well, that's because you've been up for 4 days. You need to go to bed. Things get wacky after 2 nights. Even during the second night. Well, I have a song called "The Second Night," which is about the second night you're up on speed. Things start getting strange. The third night, things start getting wacky. If you're going on 4 nights, you're just like, okay, you need to go to bed, dude. You're hallucinating shit. It's not good. I remember driving down the street back when I was up for a long stretch of the time and going, wait, is that a pile of dead bodies? No, it's just a old screen door in the fading light. Wait, is that a group of people playing with a balloon over there? No, it's just a trash can. WTF is going on over there? Let me tell you, it's square, square, square. WTF is going on over there? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Fly Guy's getting his leaves trimmed. It ain't pretty. Where's Fly Guy getting his leaves trimmed? Where's that going on?
Yeah, well, yeah. Who's Fly Guy?
I know who both of them are, but I wonder where that's happening.
Ah.
Since it's not happening here. 5 days is my limit without 1 day of sleep. That's too many days. My monkeys. Your limit needs to be lower. Okay, 5 days is not a that's not a limit. That's a. I can't go any longer than that, even theoretically. Oh, CJ's streaming right now too. Okay, well, I'm glad that's not going on here, I guess. What's he getting accused of? That sounds more interesting than what's going on over here. He's getting accused of being unfair, not a rational person, using his feelings, things like that. I bet you. And what's CJ talking about? I'm curious. Is he discussing the topic of springtime and delight? Or what? What did you determine about Bro's type? I think he's an INFJ. I don't think he's an SI Dom, that's for sure. I suppose, in theory, based on just the conversation right there, he could be ISFP, but I mean, 'cause I didn't, but not like he seemed like. I just don't have any data to exclude that from that conversation
That,
right
yeah.
there. But definitely not an ISFJ.
No, not ISFJ.
No. He is not an ISFJ. Pain in the ass Alan, whom I typed and who was ENFJ. CJ's a Nazi? Anyway, I don't think CJ's a Nazi. I'm pretty sure he's not. Anyway, what was I talking about?
I don't think CJ is. What is he doing?
Yeah, I would rule out SI down as well. NI 1 or 3 for sure. FE seems likely, but I'm not the world's greatest moisture spotter. At the moisture spotting Olympics, I didn't even win the bronze. I got 4th place. Anyhow, I think we're gonna probably wrap it up here relatively soon. I need to read some of this book before this afternoon, and then I gotta work with Chloe and I got 6 o'clock typing. We should probably eat some lunch at some point. You feel almost certain that you're an INFJ? Okay, good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that you died by monkeys. 419 times. That's very sad. I think, perhaps, I'd like to play a song. Before we go, we could play a couple songs. There's something I could do. Cloudy Day and Gregory.
Okay.
Is this bread that I'm looking for?
It's a very cloudy day in Los Angeles. And today we run out of time. Little fast, trouble still to come. The day is nearly done. Can someone buy us some more time?
Cloudy day in Los Angeles. Cloudy day in LA. I'm no sort of evangelist, but I have something to say. Life can strangely be forgiving to those who stay awake all night, and mostly those who say to give in, they'll try to sap your will to find. But whether I'm supposed to be here or just be soon forgotten, no one is sort of based on what I see here in
It's a very cloudy day in Los Angeles. And today we run out of time. People's past, struggles still to come. The day is nearly done. Can someone buy us some more time?
Cloudy day in Los Angeles. Cloudy day in LA. I'm no sort of evangelist, but I have something to say. Something to say. Hi, Dallas. How are you? I hope you're feeling quite swell. Here's Gregory in disguise, hands in his pockets. Now he's walking down the drive, averts his eyes. He doesn't want you guys to realize that he's Gregory in disguise, hands in his pockets. Now he's walking down the drive, averts his eyes. He doesn't want you guys to realize that he's Gregory in disguise. He hates lies.
Once you confront the man, always telling them, but every time he tries, they only run and hide. Again he is tonight.
The chance to yell at them. So now he's Gregory in disguise, hands in his pockets. Now he's walking down the drive, averts his eyes. He doesn't want you guys to realize that he's Gregory in disguise, hands in his pockets. Now he's walking down the drive, averts his eyes. He doesn't want you guys to realize that he's Gregory in disguise.
He hates the lies. Once you confront the man, always telling them, but every time he tries, they only run and hide. Again he is tonight.
The chance to yell at them until the bridge brings a new approach. Sneakily he'll try to encroach up on the building, and perhaps he'll get the chance to yell at them. He's Gregory in disguise, hands in his pockets. Now he's walking down the drive, averts his eyes. He doesn't want you guys to realize that he's Gregory in disguise, hands in his pockets. Now he's walking down the drive, averts his eyes. He doesn't want you guys to realize that he's Gregory in disguise. Do a YouTube downloader thing and rip. Peekity pap pap patitity tip. Sing all of this radio, you know the words. They just go into the little up mountain.
I only know that part.
Going to the loaf, up mountain, going to the loaf, far from the city below. Going to the loaf, up mountain, going to the loaf, far from the city below. Mountain sunshine on the trees, far above the smoky city. Mountain sunshine on the trees. Mountain sunshine on the trees, far above the smoky city. Mountain sunshine on the trees. Going to the loaf, up mountain, going to the loaf, far from the city below, going to the loaf. Up mountain, going to the loaf. Travel those windy roads, mountain sunshine on the trees. Far above smoky city, mountain sunshine on those trees. Mountain sunshine on the trees. Far above smoky city, mountain sunshine on those trees. Going to the loaf. Up mountain, gone to the loaf. Far from the city below, going to the loaf. Up mountain, going to the loaf. Drive up those windy roads. That's a nice, pleasant little song.
Yeah.
The Buddhist scholar unlearns something each day. That sounds like they're getting it backwards. Oh, I get it. It's mystical. Right. Gotcha. Mysticism. The wonders of mysticism enrobe your heart.
With mysticism
And mystical art. And visiting Mart and Luther King's grave.
sounds like an activist.
Yeah. We're really into activism around here, me and Rachel. We're really active activists, so if you want to hang out with us, you're going to have to be an active activist as well. Not really true. I think what I'll do now is when I was younger it seemed that everything gleamed. I don't know what happened to me, but I've lost that sense of urgency, and I don't think that I'll ever see it again. If you follow my lead, you'll discover I'm loster than you, and you'll wanna know the way to get back at to wherever it was you thought you knew. And tomorrow will be just like today. I'll be lost then too. It's a matter of mood as much as a matter of will, and the things I do and the direction I point to still seem a part of me, though departedly. And I wonder if I ever see them again. Bum-ba-dee-da, ba-dee-da-dee-da, bum-ba-dee-da, da-da-da. Bum-ba-dee-da, da-da-da, bum-ba-dee-da, da-da-da. That was nice.
That's nice.
That was nice, like rice in a bowl with soy sauce. Cause I'm nice like rice in a bowl with soy sauce, as the rappers would say. As the rappers would say. Thanks, Boba Fett. It's because I'm missing 2 strings on my guitar. That's why you like the way it sounded. It's true. We need to know. We need to see. We need to pen happenings down by our means to judge our logic to life. We decisively unlike, and from which we'll rarely budge. People People everywhere gather up, enemies outraged at how they miss a sign. How do they set their priorities? These foreign backstabbing entities, ensuing heartache and misery follow necessarily from their savage ways. Insulting, cursing, and misery, we're stuck in such petty larceny. We all partition the victories and call it destruction of the whole damn world. Duty shares now her limits, hoping Julie will too. Jerry shares for 4 minutes. He just can't share things like they do. Judy always thought that she should have bought you when she had the chance to buy. Julie, she forgot about should and ought, although she ever call, she'll die. People everywhere gather up, enemies outraged at how they miss a sign. How do they set their priorities? These foreign backstabbing entities, ensuing heartache and misery follow necessarily from their savage ways. Insulting, cursing, and misery, we're stuck in such petty larceny. We all partition the victories and call it destruction. Destruction of the whole damn world. And boom. It's fine. I have some strings around here. I'm just lazy. And it's not a lack of strings that's the problem. I mean, I may not have a high E string, but I definitely have a B string around here. Yeah, it's just being lazy that's the issue. It was 100 million years ago. Time ran slow. Nobody at the show. Place the slabs below. Let them go. They will start to grow. More years ensue and tears gnashing through. Oh, holy slabs come to view. Unchangingly true and eternally new. But when the slope appears in charge today, options at large show other ways. Give each a chance now. Once quick to check, but don't get caught standing on deck. The slope presents a fork. It's not easy stopping short. Too far along to turn around. Perhaps a better course was headed ever north. Now there's a fitter force, enemy ground. It was 100,000 million years ago. Time ran slow. Nobody yet to show. Place the slabs below. Let them go. They will start to grow. More years ensue and tears gnashing through. A holy slabs come to view. Unchangingly true and eternally new. But when the slope appears in charge today, options at large show other ways. Give each a chance now. Once quick to check, but don't get caught standing on deck. The slope presents a fork. It's not easy stopping short. Too far along to turn around. Perhaps the better course was headed ever north. Now there's a fitter force, enemy ground. It was 100,000 million years ago. Well, I fucked up one part of that, but you know, not the worst thing in the world. Every life lived reaches a time when the road splits in two. times, times of despair, times when it's hard to feel good. That's when I look for my sack full of solvency and that satchel of helpful goods. Satchel of helpful goods. Satchel of helpful goods. Satchel of helpful goods. Every life lived reaches a time when the road comes to an end. When I'm there, will there be anybody else around? Or will I travel all alone? That's when I look for a sack full of solvency and my satchel filled up with bones. Yeah, that satchel now nothing but on. Satchel of helpful goods. 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 Thanks. Gerald has a thought. Gerald has a lot. Gerald has a plot to get to Marjorie's tater tots. He's got a good idea for a name-changing business. Thinking now about what to call Christmas when they hire his firm to change that name. Gerald always thought there'd be chance enough to return to the work left rough. He'd get back to it eventually, but his visions piled up and his plans would interrupt all the work that started off so hopefully. Now his mind is back on his business, thinking of changing factless to listless, so how all of the people will shout his name. And Gerald knows he understands ever more clearly here now. He won't provide explanation regarding the why or the how. He'll see you and know you from inside your heart. Exciting, delighting, Gerald plays his part. And Gerald still knew there's too much to do, and he drops time in the underview. Too much to the bud, so where now and what? Too much time spent picking the skew with you. Gerald has a thought. Gerald has a lot. Gerald has a plot to get to Marjorie's tasty spots. He's got a good idea for a name-changing business, thinking now about what to call Christmas when they hire his firm to change that name. Gerald has a thought.
Mystic Pop Bar.
It's a good movie.
Not like.
You want our movie to be a Korean TV show? Sure, I get that. That makes perfectly good sense to me. Oh, God damn it. I sat in that one position for too long. Now I felt a twinge in my leg.
Ooh.
Ooh, ah.
I'm sorry.
Ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Okay, so I'd like to end this stream, if you don't mind, Rachel, by taking over that chair right there. And by putting on the miggy on the mia, as per, here you go, mia.
Is it wrapping Eric?
Yeah, it's time for a little rapping Eric, I think. Okay. You don't want that to come out the TV though. We need that to come out the speakers. Then we need this over here to also be adjusted accordingly to the pug and the pew as per pew. Okay, and here we go. Okay. It's still hot down here today. Is it too hot? Is it too warm? Am I burning up in the storm of sun flares? Is it 1,000,000 degrees there? Do I have to beware of the high temperatures before I go and leave my chair and walk outside in my bare feet? Will I burn them on the very hot street? Will I turn into meat? Will I barbecue around everybody's town? Providing meat and services in a gown. Providing food for everyone to eat from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet. Are you guys cannibals? That's my concern. Are you cannibals? If so, please don't eat me. Are you cannibals? 'Cause I heard there are a lot of cannibals around here. So I've got a request for you, please. Don't be a cannibal, don't eat me. Please don't subsist on human meat. Please don't eat that long pork, sir. That's not appropriate, cause that's him or her. Don't eat people, don't eat any part of them. Don't eat women, and don't eat the men. Don't eat the boys and girls either too. Don't make them into a people stew. Don't be cannibals. Can you guys please stop being so cannibalistic? I said don't be cannibals. I'm tired of you eating all of my brothers and my sisters and my friends. Don't be cannibals. Would you please stop cooking everybody I know up in a pot? Please stop being cannibals. I'm tired of it. Please stop being cannibals. Now this song part means you're marching off to cook some more in another pot. So please don't stop. Please do stop. Please don't start. Please don't cook up anybody. Call it culinary arts. It's not culinary arts if you're choosing which parts of people to cut up and meat. Turn it into meat. It's not appropriate. Well, even if it is their feet. I don't care. You say it's roadkill there, but that's not roadkill. You shot him in the head with a drill. That's murder, sir, and you murdered him for what reason? Why? To cook him up for your dinner, and that's not appropriate, so please don't do it. Don't be cannibals. Can you true be it's not me that you want to eat, but instead this beet? Perhaps it's a vegetable and appropriate for you to eat. You could eat it instead of human meat. Don't eat me and don't eat any of my friends. If you do, it'll be the end of your cannibal tribe. Why? Because we all have mad cow disease inside. That's why. That makes it not appropriate to eat us, see? You'll get mad cow disease. If you don't want to get mad cow disease, don't eat us. That's the message. That's the moral. That's the special tomorrow that nobody can forget. Nobody wants to remember. Nobody ever thought about it last December when we agreed to it then. Okay, so this last stretch is going to be the end. Who knows, maybe I'll fade it out, and when I do, you'll know that we are done. The fade is not begun yet, but when it does, perhaps that will be the end. But then again, perhaps I don't want to try to fade them both in time. The two different sliders on the computer screen for me. I can't mouse number one while mousing number three concurrently. It doesn't work that way. Mice don't function as a double cursor, double pointer junction with a function to allow me to do that. They don't have it. That would be a hatchback of a mouse for sure. It's the equivalent of a truck and a cur crossed together with a station wagoner. And then you get to be a hatchback, sir. If you are a hatchback, there's a hatch in your back, and I could put stuff there like a tire rack or entire packs of gum. It's not very roomy, but roomy enough, son. So go ahead and do it. Get yourself a hatchback. If you don't have a hatchback, where's your ass at? Because you should be at the hatchback store, buying yourself a hatchback and more. Maybe 2 hatchbacks, maybe 3 hatchbacks. 3 hatchbacks and a station wagon, that's a fact. That makes 4 cars in total for you. I was buying 4 cars. It was 4 cars. Don't you know that there were 4 cars? Okay, we're coming to an end now. Goodbye today. I'm not gonna fade. I'm just gonna mute out the things that you say. Like this. It's gone. Now me. I'm gonna be gone too. So long. Talk to you later. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese, and I love you all so much that I'm about to burst with emotion. Are you really about to burst with emotion, Eric? Yes, I'm about to burst with emotion. Exploding emotion is how we end this stream. Another false stop and another false start and another unlived dream. Oh God, no. Explode with emotion. Makes me so emotionally explosive though. Like an explosion at a motion store in Fresno on Tuesday in February. The